Hello, you're very welcome to Destination Newry's News Byte here on a Thursday evening. The coronavirus update. Well, I'm Damien McCullough, if you didn't know by now, so the coronavirus update. 501 people have died in Northern Ireland, while 1,583 have died in the Republic of Ireland due to coronavirus. Total deaths in the island of Ireland, 2,084. Cases of coronavirus diagnosed in the Republic, 24,391. 338 people have died in the UK due to coronavirus in the last 24 hours. The total number of deaths in the UK to coronavirus is 36,042. In Scotland, the latest figures published by the National Records of Scotland show that 3,546 people have died with COVID-19. Wales, there now have been a total of 1,852 deaths in Wales involving coronavirus, according to the latest Office for National Statistics in Wales. Here, there are 269 confirmed cases in Newry, Mourne and Down. In Newry, Mourne and Down, there were 34 coronavirus-related deaths up until the 8th of May. There are 487 confirmed cases in Armagh City, Banbridge and Craigavon areas. In Armagh City, Banbridge and Craigavon, there were 59 coronavirus-related deaths up to the 8th of May. Other news now. Down GAA are in mourning at the loss of John Murphy, who was an All-Ireland winner as a player for the county in the 1968 and later a selector for the Red and Black, twice lifted Sam Maguire in the 90s. For the Newry Shamrocks club, John won a Mercury Cup medal with the Abbey CBS in 1964 before reaching for the Down Miners in midfield in their All-Ireland minor loss to Mayo in 1966. 2 years later, as an imposing forward, John goaled early to set Down on their way to glory against Kerry in the senior decider. In the Republic, there could be trouble ahead for the Green Party. The Green Deputy Leader, Catherine Martin, has said she will give serious consideration to contesting the party's forthcoming leadership election. However, she said in a statement that her focus remains on the crucial government formation talks. Deputy Martin added, "I believe it is important that government formation talks fully conclude uninterrupted and that any leadership campaign happens after that." 4 Green Party councillors have written to Miss Martin urging her to challenge Eamon Ryan for the leadership of the party. Camla. 39 years ago today, Raymond McCreish from Camla died on the hunger strike in Longkesh prison. A few birthday shout-outs. Big birthday shout-out to Siobhan Connolly from Deli Lights, who are now open for takeaways. Siobhan is still in her 40s and her big day was the 18th. She's just in her 40s. Owen Reel from Silverbridge is 70 today. And Leo McCabe, he lives in Warrenpoint, but he came from Camla, and all his old club mates in Carcruppen wish Leo 2-10 tomorrow. Leo is 70 tomorrow. So as we continue to go on talking to all our community-based committees around the Newry and Mourne area, we're going to be talking this evening to Gavin Malone, to Jerry and Cara. So I'm not sure who we're bringing in. Maybe Gavin Malone. We're bringing Gavin in from Barcroft. So if we can get Gavin in, us Jerry, we have Jerry coming in here. So Jerry, it's great to have you on board here. You were looking me to introduce you, but Jerry, you're a bit of a legend down your own part of the town. So I'll let you do it yourself. So let's hear it all, Jerry.
Damon, I wouldn't use the word legend. I just say it's just a humble community worker doing my best for this community and our communities and helping homeless people and things like that. That's a legend. I doubt it very much. And I'm just me. People knows me as Jerry Coy, but I'm here in my capacity as chairperson of Dromalane and Quayside Close Community Association, just to give a brief update on the situation with our committee and some aspects of our community since the present crisis. It's important to point out that 2 weeks before the official lockdown, we as a committee decided to close our centre. And that obviously disappointed 200 plus people who use it on a weekly basis. But we thought it was the best thing to do at the time because we were conscious of the spread of the virus and we didn't want to wait until some agency or somebody says do it now. We just used our own initiative, which is something we are very good at. The thing is that the centre, when it was up and running, and please God, it will be up and running sooner rather than later, it lost her. Somebody's trying to cut me off. It was up and running. There was activities such as bingo, drum close, crafters club, line dancing, youth club, senior citizens, coffee morning, and a lot of other things that were going on that were very popular, and that is the reason why there was an access, and it was very popular with people outside our community, particularly the bingo. Knowing that within our community, the elderly and the vulnerable would be self-isolating or been told to isolate when they got a letter from their GP on account of underlying health conditions, we decided that we identified 6 households where the elderly and the vulnerable lived, and we would know them because we had the local knowledge, which was beneficial to any community. We drew up a newsletter, we give relevant information to people concerned, and basically it was to let them know you aren't on your own, we're here for you. In the newsletter, it mentioned the fact if you need groceries or any help, support or advice, to let us know, because we included several phone numbers of committee members. So they knew then, it was a psychological thing, that they knew then there was somebody there within the community who would be for them during the present crisis or situations. Please God, it didn't get worse. We also became aware from local people that the COVID-NI helpline for to get food parcels, there was people having problems with that because it was taken up to an hour for the phone to be answered, and understandably so, because at that time there was a high volume of phone calls. So we decided to contact them ourselves, and thankfully they agreed that we could act on applicants' behalf and do it through email, which was fast tracking the situation, and that was a great bonus for all concerned, and thankfully it's been very successful. We also decided to register with the council's community food hub to see about how we could help out during that process. And to date, I've lost count of how many parcels, food parcels, were delivered to those in need, not just our own community, but our communities throughout the Newry area. I'm saying as it was thanks to committee members Gary McKeown, Edwina Boyle, and 2 volunteers, Noel Ferrari and Mihal McParlin, who are there on standby all the time. To complement this work, we again, we're always deciding and always agreeing over here in Dromalane, particularly in our committee, we decided to do our own food parcels for the same group of people. So to date, we've done, I think it's 136 food parcels with that included essential items, and over the next few weeks there will be an hour delivery of the same type of parcels. We also were aware of young children being off school and different other things, and it's credit to their parents and to the children that they're just being fantastic from what I get to date. So we're in the process and are near complete making up things like an activity pack with sweets and different other things, drinks, just to let people know we're also thinking about as primary school children. In them, we've included posters that reflect support for the health service, NHS, and all frontline services. And we're asking children to, we also give crayons to colour them in, put them in the windows, and we will take photographs and obviously put them on our Facebook page. But I just want to point out it's important to stress that this is not about me, it's not about our committee, it's about our community and our communities, because I've always had that mindset. It's only fair and right that I could say that. And for by us, there's our people within our community working in the background and doing absolutely fantastic work. We have the likes of Liam McDonald, who's playing music and singing. Well, he's singing, that's debatable. Sorry about that, Liam. On a regular basis, and it's very popular here, and as we're even throughout the north of Ireland. And we also have an Dromalane man, Ernie Campbell. Everybody knows the absolutely fantastic work that Ernie does on his own and with the others, whether it's here or throughout Newry and beyond. And we have nothing but the highest praise for him and other people like that who do so in an obvious voluntary capacity. I think I'm getting cut off. We've been getting numerous requests to have open air bingo, and we're looking into the possibility of that, taking into consideration the rules and procedures regarding the safe distance, etc. We're hoping sooner rather than later that we will get up and running. We've had two community sing-alongs to date, which were very, very successful, and the object of the exercise obviously was this: let people have a bit of crack, sing a song, do what they want. We done it on the green area, the main green area in Dromalane Park, with loudspeakers and played very 60s, 70s and golden oldies got on. There was even, believe it or not, a few rave songs, but that's okay. We have to cater for all the age groups. But that was two brilliant successes. We also now, 4 weeks ago, we decided to have a rosary for all those affected by COVID-19. It's a weekly rosary for the NHS, all frontline workers who provide essential service, whether bin men, postmen, postwomen, delivery drivers, people who work in shops and people who work in supermarkets, and that's a brilliant success. In fact, after this here shortly, I'll be going out to join in the rosary, because it's something that personally I wouldn't like to miss. I've been asked to give special mentions here for a few people, and first of all to Father Tomaley, who recently celebrated 50 years in the priesthood. He's a very popular and much loved Dominican with strong roots in Dromalane Park, and our congratulations to him and obviously to his family. I'd also like to extend a special thanks to a kind resident from our community who donated 10 absolutely high quality masks to our committee, knowing we go around the area on a regular basis, and obviously for our own self-protection, but just as important for our people's protection. That is the reason why we would wear them. This kind lady also does these masks for hospitals and care homes. They're cloth masks, and as I say, highest quality, and full credit to her. Thanks to the Confederation of Community Groups, and particularly Kathy McMahon and Raymond Jackson, who played a pivotal role in us having a successful application for £500, which again will go towards the cost of more food parcels. And the other thing that we're focusing on is to help people with top-ups for their phone, top-ups for their heat or their electricity, because I think that's as important as well, because there's people out there self-isolating and with financial difficulties, particularly in this present climate, and we want to do our wee bit to help them. Birthday greetings to our fellow committee member, Breach McKeown, who'll be, I don't know what age he is on Saturday. She's not telling me, she's keeping it secret. And by the way, it's my birthday on Saturday too, so happy birthday, Jerry, coming up this Saturday. Thought I'd get that in before anybody else did. And this has come from our very good friend Carmel, as well as our fellow committee members. And belated birthday greetings to Teresa Mallon, who's also a member of our committee. Teresa celebrated her birthday recently. Congratulations to Darren Gorman from Dromalane, who got married recently in Australia, and best wishes and much happiness to him and his wife Jan. I've been asked by someone within our community to give a wee mention to all the cleaners in the local job benefits office, because these people are working 7 days a week throughout this whole crisis and continue to do so. And as I say, fair play and full credit to them. Finally, my sincere thanks to our committee. Each and every one of them have in some way played an important role in making our committee, our centre, our community so successful, and it's full credit to each and every single one of them. So Gary, Edwina, Joey, Katrina, Jimmy, Bridge, Teresa, Mickey, Terry, Stevie, Calvin, Pat, and Cricky, well done to you all. You're doing our community proud. Finally, a thanks to Gavin Malone, who'll be coming on next, Valerie Hart, Ernie Campbell and his team, and Sainsbury's, who contributed to our food parcels. As we say and I say and everybody says, we're all in this together, and we all are and should continue to work together for the one common purpose, and that is to help people get through this crisis. And we all know we will get through it, and please God, we'll be far better as a result of it. We'll focus what I believe in focus, not what we haven't got, but what we have, and we'll appreciate that more. I think that's me for now. I think there's a
So, Jerry, thanks a million. A great comprehensive roundup of what's happening down there in Dromalane. So, thanks a million.
I think, Jerry, is a wee video to play. Is that right, Jerry?
Yeah, there's a video coming up now. It's just it's going to reflect the community spirit in Dromalane during the present crisis, Damien. I think it
Okay,
will.
lovely. Looking forward. Well, Jerry, thanks a million.
That's Mrs. Margaret Woods celebrating her 95th birthday. One of our obviously older and long-term residents, a lady, highly respected, like most of that generation, and I'd like to think my generation and everybody. And I just want to say, Damien, is I love Dromalane. Everybody knows that, and Quayside Close, and we're a community that come together in times like this, and we stay together. And before I go, can I just congratulate yourself and Cal for this? I think this is a fantastic way of giving communities and others a voice and letting them show exactly what's going on, particularly during this crisis. And I'm hoping that, not that we as community workers, volunteers or anything want thanks, but we don't do that. We do this because we love our communities and other communities, and we want only what's best for everybody in life that is relevant to agencies. Because I have to mention this because it's in my nature, is during this and hopefully after, will provide adequate funding, because if you give community groups now the tools, they'll do the rest, but you can't do it without that. You just leave it, just give us the funding, we'll sort everything else out.
Well, Jerry, what we're finding this, particularly this week, and this is a first for ourselves doing this, what we have found right across the whole area, right round, that the community activists that are doing the work, they're doing a phenomenal amount of work, and the goodness that's coming out of all this is standing tall, and it's showing that everybody is putting their shoulder to the wheel, doing something and helping everybody. And if you go back to when you were a young fella, a young child, think of the community spirit back in them days and how people get on. And I think, and I believe, I firmly believe that we've gone back to that, and long may it last. And let's hope that it continues to be so.
Totally agree, Jamie. As I can remember my childhood, and it is a long time ago, because it was a happy childhood. There was peace. Neighbours would leave their front doors open. They'd be borrowing milk and sugar of each other. They were all walking together. Unfortunately, through time, that sort of disappeared. And I'm very confident this crisis will have bring us back to that time. Therefore, I believe and look forward to very happy days ahead. And that's the way we should do, is be thinking positive. And I always say to people is, I take the day as another day closer to that, and more important, I'm able to help my family again.
Well, look, there's no doubt. Jerry, listen, thanks a million. And there's no question.
Thank
You
you.
do a brilliant job down in Dromalane and Quayside Close. And to that young lady that is 95, that woman, she probably would go on till about 105 the way she's going. So brilliant. And now we're going to go to Gavin Malone up on top of the hill in Barcroft. Gavin, you're very welcome. It's great to have you here. And Gavin, tell us what you have and what's happening up in your part of the town.
Yeah, thanks very much, Damien. For inviting me on. I just was lucky enough to get on today and look at your shows from during the week, and the calibre of people that you have on is absolutely outstanding from South Armagh and the South Down. Dedicated people, dedicated helping us. So many wonderful volunteers, and our district is so blessed to have these people. Just it's wonderful, Damien, to see so many people coming to the fore and helping others at this difficult and challenging time. But we'll get through it, and we'll get through it together, and that's very important.
Well, Gavin, I think, Gavin, from our point of view, that there's no question that the communities are binding together, and we're seeing everything that's good in the communities, the local communities, and to me, that's something very special.
It's absolutely wonderful, Damon. I mean, look at the work of all the community associations. Throughout the district, it's outstanding. I seen at the weekend the Meta Armagh Road were out and delivering treats and on fruit and all sorts of stuff, and you've Ballinacraig, who Carol is coming on afterwards. All the associations throughout the district working their socks off, and we're so lucky to have all these people, and it's wonderful, Damon, and it's outstanding work that we're seeing throughout all the community and district, and it's fantastic.
Look, and you're a councillor, and I know you can't get the meetings, and you're doing it on Zoom and all that, and maybe that's the way to go forward. But I think, and from what I see and from what I've heard this week, that the community spirit in this whole area has been reinvigorated by what's happened. I know this pandemic is shocking, and it has shook us all to the foundations on how we react and how we deal with things. But what it also shows, how the communities get together and how they all do what needs to be done and helping everybody, and everybody's putting a hand out. I know we're not supposed to be touching, but everybody's putting their hand out and welcoming, and everybody is doing to me, this is going to go on for a long time. And I think, Gavin, if we go back, we sort of maybe lost the run of ourselves, and now we are finding that what's really important is our community and our people that lives around us and our families, and this is coming out, and this is what I see in talking to all the community associations around the area. This is what I'm finding out.
I think, Damon, it's like in down memory lane. It seemed to be the way it was in days gone by, where people were a lot closer, and we're seeing that again. I mean, you see the hub is in full flow now, providing parcels for people who are vulnerable, and you have so many people, Damien, that has to be recognised behind the scenes who are involved in community activism, and they mightn't be as prominent as us, but they're actively engaged and volunteering and helping people. When you go down in the Pool Lane, for example, you have Joanne Haver, Anya McCavitt, Martina McCartan. They're looking after the elderly people in that particular area, and that goes throughout the district, and they're all unsung heroes. And we're so thankful to have all these people, and it's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. And we've had the PPE where Ernie Campbell has been outstanding in raising funds to get it up the Daisy Hill and throughout the community to people who are home care workers and elsewhere. And at this moment in time, there's over £35,000 that has been raised. So that's fantastic. And it's just great to see. I've been watching all the different people, Damien, today that have been on your show, and every one of those people are just outstanding. And the people that they have around them, they're also outstanding. They're the people who galvanise our people and who do all the work behind the scenes, and they're so vitally important.
And it's great, Gavin, that Destination Newry now is giving a voice to the community associations right across the whole area, because I would imagine, like, I'm coming from South Armagh, I wouldn't really know what's happening maybe down in the bottom end of the town or across the town or whatever. And now we see that every community association is basically doing the same thing, maybe slightly different, but it's basically it's all the same, and they're getting results, they're getting parcels out, they're getting to meet people, they're getting to help people. And to me, it's a great honour to all the community activists right across the area.
It's unbelievable. When you look at all the community associations, that they're gathering names up, they're identifying people who need that wee bit of help, and they're helping them, and they really are, the people who we need to value, because they're the people out and about doing all the hard work.
Yeah, of course, they're not doing it just, they're doing it because they want to do it. And we have to give them credit for that. And, I think when all this is over, maybe the council, Gavin, maybe they'll get together sometime and maybe they'll recognise the great work that all the community associations right across the area have done. And maybe they could all give them the key to the town. I don't know if you get a free man or a free woman off Newry morning down or whatever, but something like that, which would be great.
Absolutely. I mean, maybe this is over. We could have a special civic reception and have it somewhere where we could pay homage to all these people. But I don't know if we get anywhere to fit. There's that many great people and just so many outstanding people.
Well, there's plenty of big football fields around the country that there's nobody in, so maybe we could go there. But Gavin, listen, it has been great talking to you, and keep us informed. And don't forget, if anybody has birthdays, if you have any birthday shout outs there, let us know.
Have one for Breeds McDonald and Dromalane. Breeds is a good friend of mine from Quayside Close. Absolute lady. As Jamie was saying, Jamie knows it very well. I also like to play Carrie Morrow from the local DA, who has been absolutely outstanding and helping all us along this. And you pick up the phone and you have council officials behind the scenes who are vital in guiding you along. Obviously, with all the postmen, the bin men, the nurses, all those people who are keeping things running. Also tonight, it's with a heavy heart. Pass my condolences to John Murphy from the Shamrocks. John worked in the council. I played football for John at a young age with Shamrocks. John was such a nice man. John, in days gone by, you would have maybe 7 or 8 substitutes, and maybe a game you're maybe winning by a point. Most people would say, well, we'll let the game go. John would always say, get them boys on. He was just an absolute gentleman, and my condolences to John's family this evening, because just a great man, a great Shamrocks man. So, it's just very, very sad. Also, just a quick one, there is a lot of work to be done in the future. There's a lot of talk this evening about the A&E, and, obviously that's going to be for the future, but that's certainly something that we're going to have to step up the mark with and make sure that A&E does return to their district, because it's so vital to them, and it's so vital to have it back in Newry. And, when we're ready to take that challenge on, and we'll be ready. Also, to a quick one, the Albert Basin Park's vital. That the 15-acre park has to go ahead no matter what. Damien, there has been an agreement made. I've been attending our council's meetings for a year. A bit disturbed about a meeting today where there was stuff put forward that none of us were made aware of this last 12 months. Quite worrying, Damien. And I think it's very important to let everyone know that the Albert Basin 15-acre has to go ahead. It's been promised, and we have to deliver it, Damien, by hook or crook. It's very important that people who were given assurances, that those assurances are delivered, and that's really important, Damien. But look, that's for further down the road when we get over all this. And I just once again take the opportunity to commend all the people from South Armagh to South Down. I'd like to just quick one, Damien. I'd like to thank Kieran Donaghy, James McAreevy, Jordan Poocher, Malachy Maguire, Paige Murphy, people who have been helping me. I've been really busy like everyone else recently, and when I've been overwhelmed, they've come in and helped me, and also helped the local community. And we're so lucky to have so many great people, Damien, and we're so fortunate. And I just commend everyone this evening, and I just like to thank everyone throughout the district, and just so many great people. And this has really come to the fore, and we're so fortunate, Damien, in this district. There's so many great people. And thanks very much, Damien.
Gavin, look, there's no question about it. Keep us posted about the site down in Albert Basin, because we would like to be following that one. And of course, we would all agree that A&E has to be back in Newry. And there's no doubt about that. It's so vital.
Certainly, Damien, an absolute priority that A&E in due course is put back in the district, with all fought long and hard, everyone in the district. At the end of the day, we want equality and want to get that back. With regards to the Albert Basin Park, as I said, obviously I can't go into specific details, but this evening, I, like people, have been very alarmed about what I've been told, and if necessary, it will go into the public domain. But the people have been promised a 15-acre park, and I think that's really important that promise is carried out, and I'd certainly be doing all I can, Damon.
Right, okay, that's brilliant. Thanks a million, Gavin. And now
thank you.
Yeah,
thank you very much.
We're going to go from Gavin, and now we're going to go over to Carla, I believe. I think Carla is here.
I'm here, Damien.
Carla, it's great to have you. I know you're having difficulties getting on earlier on there, but it's brilliant to
Yes.
have you on here. And of course,
Uh-huh.
you're from the other end of the town, So just let's tell us what part of Newry you're from.
Well, we're Ballinacraig Community Association, so we cover the whole of the Warren Point Road. We go right up O'Neill Avenue, Lockview Park, Hennessy Park. We could right up over to the Windmill Road. It covers a big area. We
Big
reckon there's
area.
about 3,500 houses in it.
Well, Carla, you have 5 or 10 minutes there to tell us what you're doing down there. It's all yours. Take it away, Carla.
All right, Damien, thanks very much. Well, first of all, I want to thank Destination Newry for inviting us on tonight. I think it's a great incentive for us, not just for us, but for the community, understanding what we're all about and what we're doing. So the first thing I have to say is we want to pass on our condolences on behalf of our committee and the Ballinacraig area of the passing of John Murphy. John played top level GAA, representing Down as a player, management, and bringing Sam Maguire home to its rightful owner. John will be fondly remembered by everyone in this community. He was a great man. I would also like to thank a few of my committee members who have been doing absolutely sterling work. A few of them I'm going to mention tonight because they deserve it. It is Maria, Shauna, Jennifer, Mary Claire, and Mickey. We have been working so hard behind the scenes, and without them, this would not be happening. I'm going to just tell you a few things that we have been doing. We also have to thank as well the DEA, Kerry Morrow, Kathy McMahon, Lawrence Bradley, and all the other community associations that I have been taking guidance from this last 2 years. They've been absolutely amazing. Without them, we wouldn't be here today. Also, another few that I want to mention is the larder. People in need, they're only ever a phone call away. We ever need any food, emergency supplies, they're on the ball and straight away they're saying to us, so thank you very much. That's to Stella and Adele. So over the past 8 weeks, we've been taking referrals for the food hub, which is over in the leisure centre, and it's for people who were affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. If they've lost work, or if some people were in zero contract hours and had absolutely no money, no income, so they turned to us for help. We passed their referrals on to the council, and they put their names forward to the food hub for any services they need, which included food, paying bills, even for a phone call in the morning. That was all done through Kathy and Kerry. So thank you so much for all you've done. We also have been delivering food parcels to people who are in urgent need from the larder and people who are in need. These food packs might be requested in the morning, and we are supplying them that afternoon, so people are not suffering in any way. And these are family people with children. Also, people who have been paid off their jobs, who had zero contract hours, who are infected that way. We also want to give a shout out to our elderly in the community and our vulnerable. We had, at the start of this pandemic, we went round to all the vulnerable, the elderly, and give our names and addresses. And they have been using it quite often for, even if they wanted someone to run to the chemist for them, we've been doing that. We've been doing a bit of shopping for them as well. And we just want to reiterate to them, if they do need anything, you have our numbers. Don't be afraid to pick up the phone. We have a new incentive, which we just have been awarded today, a few pounds, and it's for anybody who's in financial difficulty. You need to pay out gas, electric, fuel, anything like that. If they please contact any of the committee members, or even just give a private mail to the page. It's all confidential, and none of your phone numbers, names will be given to anybody. But please don't be in despair and give us a wee phone or private mail the page. And I just wanted to let you know what we were doing at Easter as well. The Easter Bunny came the day before Easter and delivered out 150 Easter eggs to the kids of the community. And we had great fun with the Easter Bunny. And I just want to give a wee shout out to Paula and Joanne up in Carnegie who let us borrow the Easter Bunny for the day. And the kids had an absolute ball. They loved seeing the Easter Bunny coming, and we had great fun, great community spirit, and keeping social distancing as well. Last week we gave out kids activities packs, and they were colouring books, crayons, and we also had in it a seed, a magic bean, which the kids had to plant So what we have asked all the parents to do is for the kids to plant the seeds, excuse me, for the kids to plant the seeds, to send a photograph in when their seeds have grown into a plant. And we want to see who has the biggest seed. And whoever grows the biggest plant will receive a pizza voucher for Max Pizzas. And that should be around the end of September time. So we're looking forward to seeing all the plants that have grown. We have been asked by Park Esler to give a wee reminder that the grounds are closed. There's been a few people, I believe, getting in different ways and using the facilities there, which if you could just give a wee reminder to your kids, it's still closed, they're not insured, and there will be until the foreseeable future until this is all over, please. We're trying to alleviate dogfighting in the area because there's more people walking their dogs and not cleaning up after themselves. So we have a new initiative what's starting, and we have received dog poo bags, and we're putting them all along the Warren Point Road, and we're putting signs up for anyone who's forgot to take their bags with them. They can help themselves, it's no problem. And we will be organising the clean up probably around the next week or so, along the Warren Point Road to keep it nice and clean. And we've been working along with Valerie Hart and Gary Stokes for that as well. So there'll be more information about that in due course. And I just wanted to remind everybody as well, excuse me, that if anybody has any shout outs, messages, birthdays, anniversaries that they'd like to give us we could give a shout out on the weekly show, just private mail the page or else contact themselves. And now just to finish off, I have two very special shout outs. And the first one is to one of our committee members, Shauna O'Brien. And Shauna is 30 this week. And I believe that she's feeling every bit of it. Shauna, happy birthday from the committee. And I really, really appreciate everything you do. And try and enjoy yourself as much as you can. But after all this is done, we're all yours. We'll be celebrating. And the last big shout out we have is to Freya and Leo O'Brien. They celebrated their first birthday last week with their mum and dad, Martin and Jodie O'Brien. And as you can see, they're just lovely wee things. And they celebrated, I believe the four of them had a great wee tea party. So, Damien, that's about all I have for you this week.
Million for all your information you're giving out there. And it is a fair big area, and there's a lot of hills in it. That I know that. I walk down in around Boat Street, and I do know that end. But you know, from the people from the out ends of the council area, they probably don't know a whole lot about where all these community associations, and I think what Destination Newry is doing is showing everybody that what's happening, and they're giving the voice to the community associations, and we're delighted to do that. And yes, I would also say Park Esler is closed. All Gaelic pitches are closed, and again, they're not insured. So we would again say to people, please do not go and play in them. If you get hurt in them, you're not insured. You shouldn't be there. And hopefully, maybe later on in the summer, they will open up again. But at this minute in time, you have to stay out of them. And I would also, again, endorse about the dog filing. I've seen it myself. I've seen it today coming up the road as well. So, yes, look after your dog, and what your dog leaves behind, you take it with you. Don't leave it for somebody else to do it.
That's
and remember,
right, correct.
If a child picks that up, the child could lose an eye, and that's dreadful. So again, Carla, you've been brilliant, and it's great talking to you. And of course, 30 is not 30's not old. 30, I wish I was 30, you know.
Me too.
Carla, birthday is only an age, you know. 18 to
Of course
die.
it is.
Yeah, 18 to
Of course, 100%.
So listen, thanks to yourself, thanks to Jerry, and thanks to Gavin for coming on tonight. And again, if you have shout outs, birthdays, anniversaries, whatever, get them to yourselves and get the call outs next week. And we look forward to doing this all again. So, Carla, on behalf of Destination Newry, thanks a million. Much appreciated.
Thank you. Thank you,
good luck. Keep up the good work. All the community activists, keep up the good work. And we're giving you a voice here in Destination Newry.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no.